Good evening, everyone. I'm Skyla Mann. I am a Young Living Diamond from Central Iowa, and I want to welcome you to another edition of Thursday Night Live. Tonight, we are going to be dedicating this entire class to our dogs. Some of the things that you're going to learn tonight may also very well apply to other pets, but in particular, tonight's class is dedicated to the dogs. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with you tonight. There are going to be lots of opportunities for note-taking, but I do want to remind you that this class is being recorded, and so you will be able to go back and watch that again. And if you would like a copy of this PowerPoint for your very own that has your name and your member number on it, this came from a company called Oil Revolution Designs, and they can help get you all set up with that. So let me flip over to the screen share. And okay, so here we go. So tonight, it's all about the dogs. One of our favorite topics. We know that if chemical-free living is important for us, it should also be very important for our pets because they are just as susceptible to all of the things that are happening in our homes as we are. So the information contained in this class was not compiled by a medical professional, therefore anything presented, as you know, is not intended to diagnose, prevent any disease, or cure your pet, regardless of what that pet may be. You are responsible for how you use this information. Please consult a healthcare professional for medical evaluation and the treatment of your animals. Tonight we've got about 4 objectives for our class. We'll probably throw in a few others, but the big key points that we're going to cover are safety, how to support the general everyday health of your dog through Young Living, some do-it-yourself recipes, and how and where you can get started. So, I'd like you to meet a friend named Bruce, and these are a few of Bruce's favorites. So this slide is intended to give you kind of an overview of some of the things that dogs typically love and can benefit from. Ningxia Red, right off the bat, this is excellent, not just for us, but also for the dogs. It is, as most of you probably know, a liquid nutritional supplement that benefits every single system of the body. One of our favorite ways that we will do periodically for our dog is to, when we get to the end of a bottle of Ningxia Red, instead of just recycling that, we usually fill it, halfway full or a quarter of the way full of water and shake it up just to kind of rinse all of that precious Ningxia Red out. And we'll just go ahead and put that in his water bowl. Agiles is a nutritional supplement designed especially for bones, joints, and fluid movement. So for a lot of our larger dogs that might be susceptible to joint issues, Agiles is a phenomenal supplement that can be given. You can really easily open those capsules and just sprinkle it right on their dog food, and they don't even know or care what's happening there. Omega-Gize is another one. It is so beneficial for us, but in our dogs as well. Look at all the things it supports: brain, eye, heart, joint health, and of course the overall healthy immune system. So it's really, really a powerful supplement. And then of course we'll get into all of the essential oils, but there's a few listed there that are incredibly helpful and pretty common for dogs. So getting started here, just to kind of get an idea of how we're going to introduce these. The same oils that you use on yourself, if they're good enough for us, they're definitely good enough for our dogs. Keep in mind that size does matter. So if you've got a little tiny dog, we're not going to use the same quantities that we would on a great big dog. Dogs are much, much more sensitive to smell than we are. So I always say, give your dogs an opportunity to have an out. Like, I would never put a diffuser in a dog crate. I think that would not be kind. Certainly you can diffuse around the dogs, but give them the opportunity that if they get enough, they can leave the room and they can go into another room or step outside. And just out of respect, I would do this the same way that I would with children, but introduce the oils slowly. Don't bombard them with every oil that comes in the kit all at once. You kind of want to work that up gradually. And I'm not sure if we've got, maybe you can type in, if you are not currently a Young Living member, let us know that in the chat box. Most of you that I saw on the Zoom are members already, so it probably goes without saying, but the only oils that I am recommending are those that come from Young Living. They're pure therapeutic grade. I would never use anything else on my family or on my pets. Let's begin by talking about application. How can we use these? Diffusing is very, very beneficial. So you can, as we talked about earlier, you can put a diffuser in a room near the dog, but just give the dog the opportunity to step away if they want to. You can always apply the oil to your hands and then just hold your hands down and give them the opportunity to inhale it. They can start out from a distance. They may very likely choose to come right up to you. Oftentimes, depending on the oil, dogs will lick your hands. If they don't like it, they're probably not going to, but that is not uncommon. Topical application is very favorable and it is very effective. So you can put a drop of oil on your hands and then just pet the dog. Apply it using nice long strokes down the back, or if there's a particular area of concern, you can do that as well. Some people like to put diluted oils in a spritzing bottle and just spritz it on. It kind of depends on what your issue might be, but that can be very helpful. Be certain that you avoid the eyes and the face. Nobody enjoys that, especially a dog. You can use a roller ball. If you've got a particular area that you're focusing in on, that can be very helpful. And another place that we might think doesn't need it, or we might easily overlook, are the paw pads on the dogs. In the wintertime, those can get very dry and cracked. But even in the summer, the paws are just like our feet in the fact that they have Vitaflex points. And so we can apply oils there very strategically, directing those to certain parts of the body. And then, of course, just like for us, there is an internal option when appropriate. So you can put oils in a veggie cap, or you can put them, just mix them in with their food, make a little treat, and you can kind of disguise it in there. All right, how do you know how to dilute the oils for a dog? This is a really good question. Basically, it goes on weight. So if your dog is under 25 pounds, we recommend at least a 75% dilution rate. So that means 1 drop of essential oil to 4 drops of whatever your carrier oil of choice is. So it might be coconut oil, it might be V6, it just depends on how you are using it, okay? You can kind of read the chart there. If they are, anywhere from 26 to 75 pounds, we recommend about a 50% dilution rate. And then for our really big dogs, 100 pounds up, 150 pounds, they can probably handle it straight. You may want to dilute it. And I would go back to what we talked about earlier, just in introducing it gently. It's totally okay to start diluting it for dogs of any size, and then just slowly kind of back back away from that, and you can make it a little bit stronger as you get your pet used to it. So some different carrier oils that are recommended for pets, of course. Oh, hey, there's our doorbell, and that makes our dog bark. Sorry about that. So V6 oil is a fantastic option. Coconut oil is excellent, olive oil, and then of course, don't ever forget, especially for the topical applications, Animal Sense ointment is a really, really effective carrier oil. Okay, so we're gonna jump right in here, and we're gonna zero in tonight on the oils that are included in the starter kit. That just seems like the most logical place to begin. So let's start with Copaiba. Okay, so this is probably one of the favorites for some of our really active dogs, our older dogs, just because this oil is so valuable for the body's response to irritation and to support healthy digestion. It is a really, really good one. You see down there in the third paragraph, it says, use this oil when experiencing a natural acute inflammation response. So if you've got dogs that are running around and their joints get a little bit sore, either because they're very active or just because they're getting up there in years, this is a phenomenal oil to use. And remember, it comes in both Vitality and the regular variety. So you can add it to their food or you can apply it topically. Okay, so that's a great one to start off with. Then let's move to another favorite. So this is frankincense. Frankincense makes an amazing daytime or nighttime moisturizer for us. So we oftentimes will use this for our skin. So think about how that can be used to maintain a healthy coat for a dog, and any kind of skin irritation, this one would be phenomenal for. Frankincense contains sesquiterpenes, and those are really important. You guys can Google that and find out exactly what sesquiterpenes do in our brain, but it goes directly to that part that controls emotions, and it is just a phenomenal support. Frankincense Vitality, excellent for supporting just overall health, really, but also for a healthy immune system. And if you've got dogs that may have a little separation anxiety, if they have lost a friend, sometimes if you have a pair of dogs, we went through this last June where we had a greyhound and then she passed away, and our Labradoodle definitely went through a season of sadness, understandably so. But frankincense is one of those either diffused or used topically that can be very, very supportive for, despair and stress and that kind of thing. Lavender. This probably goes without saying, but never, ever leave home without it. Lavender is so soothing to the skin, and we know how many different things dogs can encounter, just like we can, but it's a wonderfully relaxing oil, both emotionally and physically. Think about all of the different kinds of weather that come around. If you've got pets that get a little bit wound up during storms, diffusing this, or even sprinkling a few drops on their dog bed or on their blanket. If they've got a favorite soft toy that they like to snuggle up with, it's totally okay to put a few drops of lavender on it, and they can snuggle with it in their crate or wherever their soft place is. Lavender is a good one to take when you go outdoors, just in case anything happens that you need to put a drop on their paws or anywhere on them, really. And then just emotionally, it just helps them unwind. So for the same reason that I would use it on kids, lavender is absolutely fantastic just for emotional support. I'll move this down. Oh, this is Max. Hi, buddy. Did your friends go home? There we go. Okay, we'll come back. There we go. Back to work here. So all kinds of things that you can do as humans with lavender. A lot of people love to put a few drops in Epsom salts and enjoy a relaxing bath with that. There's a little DIY tip there on this slide that says you can make a fun at-home body scrub with some coconut oil, some sugar, and some lavender. That makes for a really, really nice combination just to help you unwind and relax. All right, let's move on to our next oil. This is peppermint. So in humans, let's think about the ways that we generally use peppermint. If we need a pick-me-up, peppermint is great. If you need to physically cool down, peppermint is great. If you need to have a little bit of support respiratory-wise when you're working out, peppermint is fantastic for that. It's also great to rub on the muscles just for kind of an invigorating warm-up to the muscles. So there's so many ways that you can use that on yourself. So just think about how that can be applied to your pets. So the two big areas are for clarity and for digestive support. Peppermint Vitality is one of the most highly regarded oils for supporting a healthy lifestyle. Peppermint Vitality is definitely great for the digestive system. And I'll tell you what, a little bit of peppermint in the water, not much, but a little bit is really great for dog breath too. Okay, so don't overlook that. You can use peppermint in training when mastering new concepts because it cools and calms the mind and it lessens the fear of the unknown. So remember, for those of you that have been to one of my intro classes, oftentimes we talk about the studies that were done in Japan in the workplace when they were diffusing peppermint, how the office workers made like 55% less clerical errors. So think about using peppermint in the same way for the dogs when they're learning new training concepts. It just helps retention and will help them to focus in on what it is that they need to be working on. If they get really hot, peppermint would be a great one to put in a spritzer bottle and just spritz on their coat. Again, keep it away from their eyes and their nose and their ears, but just on their back, maybe on their legs. That will feel very cooling and very refreshing. All right, let's move into digestive support mode. I love the graphics of these dogs on these slides. Aren't they wonderful? Digize is the one, especially Digize Vitality, that we use to provide all kinds of healthy digestive system support. It can be used topically, right on the stomach. Remember, we want to try to rub it clockwise. And it can also be used on the VitaFlex points, on their paws. It can be very, very helpful for that. Let's see, it includes naturally occurring constituents such as menthol, citrol, and zingiber. And it is definitely one, if your dog or you tends to get car sick, this is one that you're going to want to have with you when you are traveling. Okay. For the humans, I love that tip, and we have used it many times. A drop of Digize Vitality under the tongue or in a glass of water supports digestion after a full meal. So all kinds of wonderful ways that we can use that for both our furry friends and us. Next up, we have Panaway. So I want to just remind you that the Panaway is a blend of wintergreen and clove peppermint, and helichrysum. And the wintergreen and the clove and the peppermint can be a little bit intense for dogs. So you probably are going to want to dilute this one for sure, based on that previous slide where we talked about the dog's weight recommendations. It's super effective, but just know that those oils in combination are pretty intense for the pups. So Panaway would be awesome after strenuous exercise for the dogs, a long run, or if they're competitors. We've got a lot of people who show dogs and do different, pretty strenuous activities with them. So this would be a great one to massage diluted on the legs and on the muscles and that sort of thing. If you want a more intense effect, you can always layer this oil. So put your Panaway on first, and then put a layer of Copaiba on top of it. And that works equally well for the humans. Next up, this is probably one of our most frequently used oils on our pets. This is Purification. So Purification is absolutely wonderful for helping eliminate dog odors. I saw somebody posted a comment earlier today suggesting that their friend watched this class tonight and wondering if we would mention anything that would help a dog smell better. This is the one, okay? Purification is absolutely great as an air freshener. You can, if you're washing dog blankets or dog beds or that sort of thing, you can add Purification to the washing machine. You can add it to wool dryer balls and put those in the dryer. We oftentimes will mix some in a spray bottle with some water. You can add other oils too if you want, but just make a spritzer that you can spray wherever your dog hangs out the most. You can spray it on the dog before they go outside to kind of prevent any of those outdoor annoyances that tend to, bug you. I have even known some people that will take Purification and add it to some other things, like maybe the animal scent shampoo that we'll talk about in just a little bit, and the Thieves Household Cleaner, just in case you have a dog that may have had a run-in with a skunk or something like that. That can be a very effective combination to just help release that odor. All right. Next up, oh my gosh, that dog is so cute. I'm so distracted by the pictures. We've got Stress Away. So Stress Away works so beautifully just for the dogs like it does for us. So think about any kind of stressful situations. It might be fireworks. It might be traveling. It might be moving to a new home. It could be getting a new pet. Whatever kinds of stress your dog might be under, this is a wonderful oil to use. So it can be diffused, it can be applied topically, it can be massaged in, but it will definitely make for a very happy dog. I can tell you that. Two areas that you might want to consider are along the nasal area, so a little bit just around the nose, or on the brain stem, so kind of back like where their head meets with their neck. Those are great places to apply this oil. All right, next up, we've got Thieves. So Thieves supports a healthy immune and respiratory system. Thieves Vitality is just absolutely wonderful for overall wellness. Hopefully, at this point, all of you know that that's what it will do for us, and it certainly will do the same thing for your dogs. So the original Thieves blend, when diffused, helps create a calm and comforting environment. And Thieves, hands down, is probably one of Young Living's most popular products. If you have multiple dogs and you have a space in your home where you've got crates lined up or that sort of thing, Thieves is a wonderful thing to clean with, to diffuse, just to make sure that nobody's passing junk, from one dog or one crate to another. So be sure, if you have not checked out the Thieves Household Cleaner, this is just a must, in my opinion, for all of us. But for one thing, last fall when we had our Vibrant Health event, Dr. Jim Bob Hagerton came and he spoke about lots of things. But one of the questions that was asked of him was, if you could only start with one other Young Living product, what would that be besides the oils that come in the starter kit? And without hesitation, he said, the number one thing that I would want to get everybody on is Thieves Household Cleaner. Because when we can start using that, we can remove all of those dangerous toxins from our homes. And you guys, that not only helps save us, but that for sure helps our pets too. So just remember, we're oftentimes running around in shoes or socks or slippers after we've cleaned our floors, but our pets don't really have that luxury. So if you are not quite fully toxin free at your house yet, and you're still cleaning your floors with products that maybe contain bleach or something like that, just know that if your pets walk across that, they're going to be absorbing that into the pads of their feet. And that is really, really hard on their systems. So I am a big, big fan of Thieves for that reason. All right, next up, we have lemon. So lemon is something that can be used during training. Again, remember back to when we talked about using peppermint for memory and just clarity and acute thinking. Lemon is also great for that. You can add a drop of lemon vitality to the water bowl. You can also add lemon essential oil to a ribbon at the door for scent marking. Now, this is a new idea I had never thought about, but it says this will help older dogs find their way outside, or it could help puppies associate the scent to house training. So how about that? You can just tie a ribbon to your doorknob, and it's kind of like just incorporating another one of their senses into the whole training process. Now, we know that the dog's sense of smell is absolutely off the charts. So it will not take much for them to be able to smell that, and that can leave an imprint on their brain. One of the tips down in the orange box for the owners says I add a couple of drops to Thieves Household Cleaner for mopping floors and cleaning stains from the carpet when accidents happen. So accidents do happen, and when they do, lemon is great to come to the rescue. RC. RC is wonderful for invigorating the respiratory system before exercise or long runs. You can find it very motivating for training your pet. There are 3 varieties of eucalyptus essential oil in the RC blend, as well as cypress and spruce. You can dilute and rub it on the back of your dog's neck before a walk or a run. So try that out and see what they think. I know that I love having RC on my chest anytime, because it just helps open things up and is very invigorating. Next up, we have our Animal Sense line. So this is our essential oil line. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw on Oily Tools just this afternoon that Teaway came back in stock. Did anybody else see that on their Oily Tools? Hopefully, I'll double check that in a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that that was the case. So some of the fantastic oils that we have in this collection include PuraClean, and that is for a quick skin cleansing spritz. Okay, so think about all the things, the impurities that we want to get off of our pet's coat. That's really good for that. Mend Well, the name is pretty self-explanatory. So it's great to use if you want to put a roller glide on that, a roller ball, you can apply it topically to your dog. You can also make a 3-part blend with PuraClean and Infect-Away, and you can spray that on topically. The Infect-Away, again, the name kind of speaks for itself. Most folks will dilute that in a little spray bottle and just have a quick little spritz to spray on their pets. Tea-Away was formulated with a soothing scent to support a new level of emotional freedom and joyful feelings. So I don't know that it's written anywhere, but in my mind, when I hear the name Tea-Away, I'm always thinking troubles away or trauma away. It's just bringing that sense of calm to the pet. So if you have a dog that just gets wound up during thunderstorms or wind, fireworks, that kind of thing, anything that's traumatic, maybe they were attacked by another dog, maybe they were hit by a car, anything that could cause trauma or trouble, this is a great blend to use. And you can apply a drop behind each ear to keep your pet calm, or you can put it in a diffuser and just have that available. Repel Aroma. Your pet will love being outside when they have Repel Aroma on. Again, most frequently, it is either applied by putting it in your hands and just petting the coat, or by putting it in a spray bottle and spraying it on. Sometimes it depends on the length of the hair as to what will work better. And Paragize, finally. This can be applied directly to the abdominal area. Obviously, Paragize probably reminds you of parasites, and that can be very, very devastating to a dog if they contract those. So Paragize is super helpful. You're going to want to dilute this one according to the size of your dog. All right, let's move into something kind of fun here. So these are the Animal Sense Dental Pet Chews. Of course, these are made to Young Living standards, so they have no artificial colors or flavors. I have not eaten them yet myself. I don't know if any of you have tasted them, but they say that they're very tasty treats. Our dog would definitely agree. I will tell you one thing, they're really dense and they're very hard. So I know some people have taken big butcher knives and cut these into smaller pieces so that they're more appropriately sized for small dogs. Our dog, luckily, is a big dog, and we can just give him a whole one at once because I thought that they were pretty tricky to cut up. But they're designed very specially with ridges in them so that as the dogs are chewing them up, it helps remove all of that plaque buildup on the dog's teeth. So there is a method to the madness on the Dental Pet Chews. Okay, this is one of our absolute favorite products. We have been using this for years because our dogs have tended to have pretty sensitive skin. And when we've taken them to a groomer on more than one occasion, our Labradoodle came back with just crazy itching from the toxic shampoo or whatever it was that they used. I know one day I forgot to ask them not to put any cologne or spray on the dog. And oh my goodness, he came home and we could smell him a block away. It was pretty stout. So we have come to really love the Animal Scent shampoo. It has no harmful ingredients. It is formulated with 5 essential oils. It's got a lot of other natural things in it, and it is safe for the animals. And frankly, it would be safe for you too if you wanted to use it. Typically, we start out with 1 or 2 tablespoons. And if you want to turn it into a bit of a spa experience, you could experiment with adding a couple of drops of lavender to that as you rub it in, or maybe a couple of drops of copaiba if you wanted to really massage your dog's muscles. That would feel really good. There's all sorts of custom things that you can do. Just think about what it is that your pet loves the most. All right, here is another treat. So this is the raindrop technique, and hopefully all of you have heard of this. It is definitely a treat. Find a massage therapist near you that knows how to do this, and you will definitely see why it is so supportive to just kind of restorative work. It rejuvenates your mind and your body at the same time because those oils are absorbed in, you're inhaling them, it helps your muscles. It's just really quite awesome. So you can follow the same general technique for dogs, but I would definitely say to dilute on this one, because the basil and the oregano and the wintergreen, those are all really intense oils. So we're going to want to dilute those. We've got some general guidelines that you can use for raindrop technique that comes from a holistic vet that works around Des Moines. And I can post those in the Thursday Night Live group. I will post those, in fact, when we are done tonight. Just some good tips there if you want to do the raindrop technique. A lot of people use raindrop on their horses as well as their dogs. The other resource that I want to highlight, if you aren't aware of it, that can be helpful is the Animal Desk reference. And I know that there is a section on animals that's in our desk reference books, either from Life Science Publishers or from Abundant Health. But I have found that there are times when I need to go directly to that animal desk reference, and that has been extremely helpful for us as well. So I love these next two slides. I think that they're just sweet. Be the hero that your dog believes you are. So we're just going to go through a few different oils that are not part of the premium starter kit to give you an idea of how they can be used for your dog. And it's completely up to you and your dog to figure out what application method works best, whether it's topical or aromatic or internal. But Christmas Spirit is one that helps learning, helps with security, and it's a great one to use just in case you run out of thieves. Citrus Fresh. This is a wonderful oil just for general health. It also helps with immune support. It encourages hydration. So we all need that. And if I could add one on there, I think that Citrus Fresh is great for emotional support because it's very uplifting. And I think it's one of those oils that just makes me feel happy. We've got Clarity, another great oil to use during training to help with mental acuity and to promote energy. Clarity has a very fresh, almost like a freshly cut grass smell to it, I think. It's very pleasant. So I think your dogs will like that. And then Common Sense. Oh gosh, what dog and human don't need common sense? So this helps support decision making, helps support in training efforts, and even if you need to go back and retrain, Common Sense is a good one for that. Next up, we've got 4 more oils here. Neroli is a wonderful oil. This one is actually sourced from the flower of the orange tree. So when those bloom, excuse me, when the oranges first bloom before they turn into oranges, those blossoms can be picked, and that's where we get our neroli oil. That can be very good if your dog has bad dreams. I love that we can support that. I don't know how many of you have seen dogs sleep and dream in their sleep. We used to have a greyhound that would kind of run races while she slept, which was kind of entertaining. But they definitely can go through things at night. Orange oil, great for older dogs, tired dogs, and grieving dogs. It's very uplifting and energizing and just kind of helps support your emotional system. Peace and calming too, probably goes without saying, but dogs who need help relaxing, that's a great one for them. If you have dogs that are in competition and they get a little bit nervous or wound up just being around all of the other dogs, peace and calming too can be great for that. And anytime you're introducing a new dog into the home, or even if you're bringing a new baby home, any kind of change like that would be really, really helpful. And then we have Valor too. Valor is just great for courage, for training, again, for competition environments, for active dogs, and any dog that needs like a self-confidence boost, any kind of empowerment, Valor would be excellent for them. All right, we've got 4 more here, and I think this is the last 4 of the random oils, and then we're going to have a few supplements next. So we've got Helichrysum, great to have on hand for all of us. Great for active dogs, for teething dogs, great for dogs that are accident prone. Just make sure that you have Helichrysum on hand, you guys. That one is so helpful. Frankincense, hey, heads up, we can all get free frankincense this month. With every 300 PV order, you get a free 15 milliliter bottle of frankincense. I'm super stoked about that. You can blend this with spruce. That's a really nice combination. Frankincense helps support any kind of fear or emotional unrest in dogs and can be very helpful with a pet rescue because it's very supportive emotionally and physically with the nerves and all of that kind of stuff. So just, think of it in the same way that we would use it. It can be used just like that with the dogs. Marjoram for sensitive dogs, emotional dogs, highly strung breeds, and girl crazy dogs. So all of those kind of emotional triggers, marjoram is really great to just kind of help bring them down, okay? And then again, we've got Deep Relief for active dogs who might need a little muscle support. That's a wonderful blend that you can roll on. You might want to dilute that one a little bit because, it has that wintergreen in it, but that will feel very, very nice on their muscles. Okay, let's talk just a little bit about some supplements that are just super supportive of all of your dog's systems. We hit on Ningxia Red earlier, but that's just amazing. And you can pour it on their food. If you do a little liquid food thing, you can mix it in, or at least rinse that bottle and give them the end of it. It's a great treat. Sulfurzyme is a phenomenal supplement for all of us. Think about joint health, inflammation, that sort of thing. Sulfurzyme is very, very supportive. Omega Gize, we mentioned that one earlier, and helps with heart and brain health. And then we've got Agiles, which is the bone and the joint issues going on. So with any of those supplements, you can open up the capsules and you can sprinkle it on if you choose, and it is just awesome for their overall wellness. Okay, hopefully this is not a new concept to anybody, but if you are starting in Young Living and you are discovering all of these amazing products, not only for you, but for your pets, we definitely want you to reap the most rewards that you can and to get the most bang for your buck. That's really the bottom line. So this slide is all about the membership perks that come with being an Essential Rewards member. So you earn points toward free products when you join the ER program. You can purchase exclusive discounted Essential Rewards collections. You can fill your cart and change it online as often as you like before your monthly processing date. And the coolest thing is that now you get to earn free monthly products and loyalty rewards at 3, 6, 9, and 12 months, just as an added bonus for Young Living to have the opportunity to say thank you. Of course, when you're on Essential Rewards, you're accruing those points, and so you can spend your points on free products of your choice, which is really cool. And you always have the opportunity to discontinue your participation at any time, but I will just tell you, use your points before you cancel it if you choose to do so, because we don't want those to go unused. All right, I promised you a few free DIY recipes for your dogs. So let's take a look at those. First up, we have a homemade dog shampoo recipe. So you can write these down, or you can go back and watch the replay, or you can take a screenshot of this, whatever you would like to do. But we've got some bath time recipes. Dog shampoo calls for 2 tablespoons of Castile soap, a cup of water, 4 drops of peppermint, 5 drops of lavender, 5 drops of cedar wood. You can mix all of that together and have your very own shampoo. So of course, for those of you that are big into the DIY area, you know that you can alter which oils you put into that recipe and make it really applicable to your dog. There's also a recipe here for dry shampoo. I have not tried this one before, but I would be anxious to hear from anybody who gives this one a try. Just a cup of baking soda, a cup of cornstarch, and then about 4 drops of lavender. And you can brush that into your dog's fur and kind of, brush it out, kind of curry comb it a little bit. And that just helps absorb any of the oils, probably helps them smell a little bit better if they have been out romping in the woods. Next up, we have a great recipe to keep their ears clean. I know this is something that we have always tried to do just by wiping them out, but this is a really great thing just to ensure that there's nothing nasty going on in those ears. So we start out with 4 ounces of carrier oil, mix with that a cup of water, and then we've got 8 drops of lavender, 5 drops of bergamot, 5 drops of Melrose, and 6 drops of German chamomile. So you can mix all of those together, store them in a little glass jar. Each time before you use it, you're going to want to shake it up real well. Now remember, we never pour oil into our ears or our dog's ears, but what you can do is apply a little bit of that oil onto a cotton ball and then simply rub it inside the ear flap to loosen the dirt. So you may want to take a dry cloth then afterwards and just kind of swipe that area and clean it out, but we don't want to actually get oil down into the ear canal. We have Company's Coming Cologne. So this is for the dog that may not have been to the groomer recently and is getting a little on the, shall we say, the well done side for aroma. They need to reset their aroma. So you can make a little doggy cologne out of a cup of water, about 10 drops of lavender, 15 drops of purification, 6 drops of orange, and 6 drops of peppermint. A wonderful blend. You can put in a little spray bottle and you can just spray a little bit on their fur, pet it in. Again, keep it away from the eyes and the face. And that will help the dog smell better, and you will enjoy that too. All right, next up we have the Day Trippers Spritz. Okay, so this is a nice combination. Just think about when you head out into the woods with your dog. on an outdoor adventure, you do not want to bring anything home except memories. Okay, you catch my drift? No hitchhikers, right? So here's a great recipe that you can mix up in a 4-ounce glass spray bottle. So you're going to mix together about 4 drops of purification, 4 drops of citronella, a drop of cedarwood, a couple of drops of Palo Santo, I love that one, and 1 drop of thyme. So add that all to your spray bottle, and then you're going to just fill the rest up with water. Every time before you use it, go ahead and shake it up real well, and then just spritz it on their coat every time before you head outside. Okay, we're going to start right at the base of the neck, kind of work our way down, do the tail, do the legs. We're going to stay away from their face, but that will help mightily to ensure that you do not bring anything home that you did not invite. So I hope that that overview of essential oils and supplements and DIY recipes, I really hope that that gives you a little bit more confidence in how you can use these oils with your dogs. It really is a nice complement to what is going on with your chemical-free lifestyle already. I know that that is something that we have enjoyed and certainly felt good about. If we're going to take the toxins and the chemicals out of our home for our kids, we certainly do not want to continue to use them for our pets. So I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week for Thursday Night Live. Next week is, oh my goodness, I need to check the date. Today's the 9th. So next Thursday is March 16th. And all that I can tell you right now is that next Thursday is going to be a surprise. Okay, so stay tuned. It is spring break week, and that's why it's going to be a surprise, because we may have a guest instructor. Okay, so stay tuned to the Thursday Night Live Facebook group, and you are welcome to invite others to that group. I'm happy to have you here. I'm going to go ahead and just thank everybody for coming, and we'll see you next week.